You're dealing with a Scorpio whose bite and whose sting has become what keeps you awake in the morning, like a kiss. Either that, or you are dealing with those pangs of change, those pains that come along with a transition, a growth of yourself, a blossoming and development of your person and your capabilities and where you're going in life. Either way, you're stuck with transition, life, death, and rebirth as the center of your essence. I think you're dealing with a Scorpio. Just saying, but this is a general reading, so not all of you are dealing with Scorpios, but there is this sense of not being able to, or not wanting to, be released from these feelings that you're having or experiencing, because you're learning so much from them. This curious world that you see that nobody else is capable of seeing, Aquarius. This curious world, as if you have this view. Remember those viewfinders? Into the 4D, the 5D, this world that nobody else can capture. Your eyes see. You may have to pay with pain in order to continue to see it or experience it. But that experience for you is quintessential life. It is the essence of why you exist, to explore, to think, to understand, to experience through conceptualization. And so whoever you're with or whatever you're experiencing now, though there is hardship included, there is this sense of joy and pleasure. I should probably say pleasure, because of all the knowing, all the information that's being downloaded to you by doing it. It's like paying with blood. In a less poetic sense, you enjoy the pain. There's something about this life that's frustrating you. There's something about this circumstance that is upsetting you, that is also exciting you, inspiring you, teaching you. And so it's like, well, it's worth it then. It's definitely worth it. That, of course, is your decision to make. What's worth it and what's not. And maybe that's why you haven't been able to stop thinking about them or get over them or leave them or walk away. Because they are the ultimate enigma. And it's those enigmas that teach you so much. Not because of the enigma itself, but because of what all the acrobatics your brain has to grow accustomed to in order to figure the enigma out. And you love that bending and flexing and strength that you're getting, like a mental gymnast with your mind. And where else are you going to find that? Nowhere else have you ever been able to find that. Explosive arguments. Feeling like you're going to kill each other. When have you ever felt more heightened or more alive? It's part of the passion. I think you should watch the Scorpio video. Definitely do. Because even if you're not dealing with a Scorpio, there is heavy scorpionic energy in your life, as in death and rebirth, as in going through the motions of becoming something different, or expanding your life, or leaving this part of your life and moving on to the next part of your life. There are opportunities that you have to grow and develop, but more a sense, and right now I'm feeling for you that there's this wonderful essence of learning. I don't think you're actually going to school, but you may be. There is this, but I think it's more than that. I think it's more esoteric than actual school. But you're testing the waters, and you're testing it with other people. You're testing it through other people. You're exploring and looking and putting yourself in the middle of others to understand, to know, to grow, and to explore. You're using almost like the mechanism of a Gemini energy, talking to people, but with you it's more like groups of people that you're immersing yourself in order to understand and maybe even make progress. Please do click subscribe. That button's below, and ring that bell, because I make a new Aquarius video every single week. We have a little visitor. I'm in New Orleans for the next 3 days, so welcome, and I'm glad I could share this moment with you. I'm sitting outside my hotel room on my balcony, enjoying the New Orleans morning. Let's get into your cards. First card that came out, collaboration. And it is working in conjunction with others. Time to collaborate. So even though it may feel better to run your own show and live in your own world, Aquariuses, you do so well by yourself. Because all you have to do is talk to the voices in your head if you need entertainment. Your world is a conceptual world. It's how like I said, it's almost like you live in those worlds just behind this world, the 3D world, just behind it. But now there's this sense of some need to work with a group of people to build something, arrange something, create something, get something going. And so it's not your natural territory, though community is. Building for people is. But working with people, a little bit different, because that means relinquishing control, which is not necessarily the easiest thing to do for any fixed sign. But there is a need to collaborate, and it's difficult. It's challenging, not because even the person specifically is challenging, but because collaboration is challenging because you're so used to the world of concept, where you can just think it and make it. But then there's this block of having to explain it to somebody else now, and not only explain it to somebody else, but understand what the heck is going on in their mind. So the concept of even relationship is so interesting to you, but the actual practical building of it is not so intuitive. However, it is fascinating. This is why I said you're dealing with a Scorpio, because these are the next two cards that pop out. I mean, like those two, both of them are Scorpio cards. This is death and rebirth. I apologize. This is death and rebirth, and this is the sting. Okay, so this could be, okay. This is almost like the gadfly, which means it's pain. It's pain that makes you think. And that's why there's this sense of the pain that's making you think is helping you to grow and develop yourself. So if this is a person and this is a relationship that you find yourself in, Aquarius, it's the pain that's being caused by the relationship that you are so intrigued with, because it helps you grow. It helps you learn about yourself. They're actually facilitating a very important role for you, which is to inspire you to understand and inspire you to grow. And that's why it's so essential that you don't leave or walk away right now. You can't, you don't want to, because you're getting something from this that you want, which is exploration through experience. Now, this could be a net, catching that fly, catching that net, and now being at a position, catching that fly in your net, and experiencing now that person wanting to fly free, wanting to be released, realizing they've been trapped in a net and not wanting to be there anymore. Moving on to the next phase of their life, growing beyond the web that you've created, or vice versa, because you can interchange these energies. Somebody is ready to fly. This is interesting energy, the wasp and the butterfly. Sometimes life stings in order to help you grow. So you could very well be experiencing, or on the tail end of Mercury retrograde, be remembering how much it hurt to be released or to watch that person leave. And if that is what you're going through right now, it is because you wanted to go back to where you remember. You wanted to remember what that pain taught you. Very simply, it could just mean that you've been thinking about them a lot lately. But the reason why you're thinking about them a lot lately is because they mark the last experience that really pushed you to grow, really pushed you to challenge you, somebody who challenged you. And you like somebody who challenges you. You don't like people who are boring and who will just go along with you. You need somebody coming up against you that is intriguing and independent, maybe even hard-headed, so that you can't get into their head so easily. So you can't figure them out. And when was the last time that you experienced that relationship with somebody? So if you are in a relationship with somebody like that right now, or you're in a job like that right now, even though it's a major pain in the ass, and it's always like just getting on you, you can't let it go. You don't want to let it go. You appreciate what it is doing for you. If they've already gone, if you've already left, whatever this situation or person is, there is that sense of remembering what they taught you, remembering how it felt to have them around and be so inspired, and almost being nostalgic of that inspiration. I think that you, and if you're dealing with a person, I think you, more than the person you're dealing with, can understand the difference between a wasp and a butterfly. But something tells me there's a duality here where this person or this situation was both. They were the wasp and the butterfly. With both the stinger and the resurrection. Something's bursting, something's blooming. Another interpretation of these two cards together could just be sickness. It could just be illness and pain and being able to transcend it. To the point of, now you could have lost somebody. And you could be thinking of them. This Scorpio who meant so much to you but passed on and bloomed into light. This is this deep reminiscence of everything that they taught you, because you need to be inspired. You need to be inspired in a way that only they inspired you, and so your mind is bringing you back to when they were with you. However this person has taken off from your life, whether it would be because of illness, and be because my dog's playing with her toy, whether it be because of illness and they passed on, or simply because they've gone, they're out of your life already. You've been lonely for a while. Even if you've been in a relationship, you've been lonely for a while. And the reason why you've been lonely is because you haven't felt this in a long time. You haven't felt this kind of challenge and inspiration and just fascination with somebody in a long time. And you can't make it happen. You can't make it just come again. But we'll see where you're headed. Because I wonder if the reason why all of these feelings and reminiscence is coming up is because I don't think it's happening immediately, but because something is in the wind. Join me for the extended Aquarius. The link is below. We'll see which direction we're going to go. I'll see you there.